What is going on, everyone? Welcome to our NFL Championship Sunday NFL live stream. We're coming at you. We have no Mackey this week, a little last minute
Healthy
subtraction, I guess
scratch.
you would say. Yeah, healthy scratch for Mackey this week. He said he wasn't too confident in the slate, said he didn't want to, come on and keep digging the hole. I
The
don't know
good
if he's
old
watching,
Ofer in
but
the playoffs.
I feel I'm like, dude, come on, you got to go with just narrow it down. Like you told him with the mortal locks, like when he was taking a plus 140, and you were saying you love to sweat these things out.
Yeah, like let's give him a lock, not something
Yeah.
that's not gonna hit.
But yeah, we got two fire games on the slate today. AFC Championship at 3:00, NFC Championship at 6:30. Ace, you said Haas is down in Baltimore at MNT, getting ready for this one with the purple and black. You saw the lineup of who's going to be there: Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, Michael Phelps, T-Pain. It's a
T-Pain.
whole There's a whole list of people going to Baltimore today. That's definitely going to be quite the scene, especially towards the later hours when isn't there like a halftime show if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken?
that's the T-Pain halftime
That's what
show.
T-Pain's there for, is a
Yeah,
halftime show?
yep.
Yeah, that I
Doesn't get
didn't
more
see that,
Baltimore
but
Ravens than that.
yeah, that's so good. I can't wait for this game. I didn't know that, but obviously we got the Chiefs heading into Baltimore. Chiefs and Mahomes a 4.5-point underdog. Ravens minus the 4.5. Ravens minus 215 on the money line, and the Chiefs are plus 180 where I'm looking at it right now. Over under set at 44.5. Going to be a great game, like I said. Definitely could go either way on this one. I'm going to go with Mahomes. I'm going to give Mahomes 4.5 points, and just hope if he does lose this game, you're able to keep it close, able to keep it tight within a field goal, 24-20, 21-20. We've been saying all these kinds of scores. Chiefs, if they lose this game, I don't see a situation where they let it get out of hand. Mahomes has done it before. This is the first time the AFC Championship isn't in Kansas City in like fucking 5 or 6 years.
Mhm.
So going to be nice to see it in a different stadium. Mahomes on the road. We saw him do it last week in Buffalo in the playoffs. You saw that video he put on his Instagram where all the sports media people were saying, "Oh, can Mahomes do it on the road? Can Mahomes do it on the road?" He made one of those montages. It was pretty. It just makes me not even worried about him going into this stadium. It's definitely not an easy place to play, but I'm on the Chiefs plus the 4.5 points.
Huff, you say you're on the Chiefs plus the 4.5. Are you rocking with a beat there, the plus 4.5 and Ravens on the money line though?
See, that's tough. You're putting yourself in a tight window there.
Let us know. Who do you think's winning this game today, Huff?
I would say I think the value on the Chiefs plus the 180 is worth it. That's why I was going to just do my card's out. So I'm going with the Chiefs. I have the line spread. I was going to just money line them both and really just hope to hit one at plus 180 or whatever the lines are, 290. But I'm like, fuck it. I'll take the points. I think giving Mahomes 4.5 points in a playoff game in this spot in Baltimore, obviously, I think Lamar's on a tear, and this is a special season for the Ravens. But get Mahomes with 4.5 points. It looks like a trap. I'm going right into it. The line was 3. It's up to 4.5. So they definitely think the Ravens are going to jump out to an early lead. I like Mark Andrews' first touchdown, and I am on the Chiefs. So like Andrews, I saw 12-1. Get him back. I think there's no way you get that building rocking more than you go straight to your superstar for your first touchdown, drive right down the field, and you see 89 across the middle. I think that's a nice value play for today at 3:00.
Huff, a lot of my followers coming in today talking about that Ravens money line plus 4.5. They sound like they're right there with you. I need to get a firm answer out of you before I go into my take here. Who do you have winning this game and advancing
Chiefs.
to the
I'll
Super
go
Bowl?
Chiefs. I'll go Chiefs. I can't pick against Mahomes.
And yeah, I mean, such a tough matchup here. I'll get into my takes here. Love that Mark Andrews first touchdown. I like him on the anytime today. I think it's a
Plus
high score.
200 anytime. I
Yeah,
saw.
crazy odds. I mean, you don't know how much his usage is actually going to be. Maybe it's just a facade to get those Chiefs thinking. Isaiah Likely's still going to be in the mix.
It was
Lamar's
weird to me because his catching prop was set at 3.5, and the under was minus 160. So I was like, they think he's only getting 3 catches.
They don't think he's seeing a full workload today.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But go
that's
ahead.
Haas loves when hit the book bets against the Ravens. I've been on the Ravens all year long. I mean, they're deservedly in this spot. I've beat the drum. I said the Ravens are going to finish the AFC with the best divisional record. Said it again at the halfway point of the season. Ended up doing it. That came true. That defense is top notch. Roquan Smith, best middle linebacker in the league, rovering the field. I'm excited to see him and Isaiah Pacheco go head-to-head with a tough collision there. Lamar Jackson's going to have the ball on the ground, pounding the rock, doing his thing, showing why he's an MVP. He has Isaiah Likely stepping up into the scene. I think Zay Flowers is able to break free in that secondary, which is going to be tough against McDuffie in that secondary that that had an all-pro corner. They have Chris Jones pass rushing. Eager to see how they're able to contain Lamar. But I'm going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs on the money line to win this game today. I know it's going to be tough, but Hawes, everybody else in this chat, it's not a Cinderella story. It's not always the Ravens are doing the thing, the whole bandwagon, kit and caboodle. You and the Lions are going to lose today because the better team is going to win. Patrick Mahomes, he is no Tom Brady, but he is inevitable. It's like the Bills last week. How many times is it going to take for you to learn? It's going to be a close game, and what's going to happen at the end? He might get a call going his way. The whole league's going to cry, and then it's going to end with the Chiefs on top. Hernan Butker probably going to kick the game-winning field goal. Travis Kelce going to be in the end zone. They might want to play Shake It Off after this one because Taylor Swift's going to be all over the TV. They're going to be getting in the end zone and scoring. Taylor Swift, yes, we're big fans. How many times do we got to go through this? As many times as Patrick Mahomes is in the AFC Championship, because this is his 6th time here. Lamar Jackson, first time tasting it. I know the building's going to be different. They have the championship pedigree. Harbaugh's done it before with the defense, but I would like to see it first. Too much of a bandwagon all over this Ravens team. They're a great team. They had a great season. They're getting to the point where they fall off, and it's right now. The Mahomes and the Chiefs are inevitable. They do it every time. Whenever you see Patrick Mahomes at plus money in the playoffs, I don't know how you don't take it because he's always winning the game. I'm going with them today. I think Isaiah Pacheco gets in. It's going to be a low-scoring game, though. A lot of people expected fireworks. I remember Huff was on the over coming into the podcast. Then as we discussed, I'm leaning under here.
Yeah, you guys definitely talked me out of that.
Yeah, Mackey took that alternate over here. But I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I see 21-19 that hits Mackey's adjusted over for our team parlay. But I think it's going to be a late-minute field goal by Patrick Mahomes. All he needs is 10 to 13 seconds, and he can do it. I mean, I don't know how Lamar is going to be able to will a win in this one. They got to keep the ball on the ground, maybe force some Mahomes turnovers. That's their recipe of success. Would I be surprised if the Ravens win? No, but it's just you have to look at history and what always happens.
That's exactly how I'm looking at this game.
It's like the teams that laid to hit on Brady and them. It's like, oh, why do you think they're going to win again? Because that's what they've been doing. They do it time in and time out. They've been here before. It's the very first for the Ravens. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Ravens jump out to a 7 to 10 point lead, but the Chiefs have to come back later in the second half. I think it's going to be close. Both kickers are going to have a field day. I see 2 to 3 field goals from each side. I don't see many touchdowns. If you're able to put up 2, you should be able to win this game. I think Isaiah Pacheco, and I think, yes, Travis Kelce gets in the end zone. All of you that like to cry about all of this, Taylor Swift, yada, yada. Well, I mean, the NFL, is it rigged? I don't know. But all I know is the calls are always happening for the Chiefs. They're always winning the game, and Kelce's always getting in the end zone. And
might as well make some money off of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Kelce's going to be in the building. He's going to be the most lit guy there. The Ravens and their brass are going to be wishing 52 was on the field to combat them. I know Roquan Smith's out there, but they don't have Ed Reed. They don't have Ray Lewis. They're not going to get the job done today. I have the Chiefs on the money line. Feel safe with that 4.5 because when do you see that many points given to Mahomes? But this is going to be the best game of the day. I think it's going to be a 2-point game, I think. I'm going with
Justin Tucker over 1.5 or over under 1.5 field goals. What would you go with? And I'll tell you
over 1.5 field goals for sure. And I'd go with Butker as well, even parlay those. And we have a
Butker his over is minus 105, the under plus 100 for the best lines I'm looking at. And
yeah,
then,
I love that.
Tucker was
he gets one early and then he gets the game winner. Great comment here by Chance Galucci. Don't bet against the streak. That's right. Don't bet against the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been doing it time in and time out. How many years in a row do you need to learn your lesson? It's like Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. I know the Ravens are a much tougher opponent. That stout defense, great run game. Eager to see how they pose a threat to them today, but you got to bet with the streak here. The Kansas City Chiefs do it year in and year out. I'm going to take them again to get there. It's not going to be pretty, but give me the Kansas City Chiefs on the road. Team that's been there and done it. Best coach in the league currently as Belichick is out of a job and best quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I'm actually about to lock in this made field goals right now. I'm taking the Butker. I like that a lot.
We like the made field goals. A couple other things I'm looking at. I think Isaiah Pacheco rushing attempts. Don't know how productive he's able to be against a great Ravens defense. I do think Mahomes throws an interception. I think he throws one. You could probably get good odds on that. I think Lamar Jackson is very safe with the ball. He's probably going to have over I think he's going to have close to a 70-plus completion percentage rate. I think he's not going to throw over 25 passes today. I do like his rushing over prop. I think he's going to have to extend plays with his legs. I think Mahomes does as well. I think there's value on both quarterbacks to get into the end zone today as they're going to be scrambling and trying to make something happen. Offense is going to be hard to come by. A lot of punts, in my opinion. I'm on the under here big time. That's one of my favorite plays. Chiefs money line, love the value and the history for it. But I'm not too hot on a side, so don't be surprised if you don't see either side on my card. I just think it's going to be a great game throughout. Tight spread.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, two of the best, if not the two best teams in the AFC made it to the championship. We get it. It's going to be interesting. Like you said, we've always seen it in Kansas City for the past so many years. Like I said, going to be nice to see it somewhere else. I'm not the biggest Ravens guy. I know your brother. I'm reading these chats. He's very happy that we're on the Chiefs here. I think.
And how great is it? You want to know what's crazy though? These Ravens fans, they must be delusional if they think missing Kadarius Toney's a downfall. I think that helps out the Chiefs more so than the Ravens.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's like you said. It's almost like going back to the days like we were watching Brady. It's like just don't pick against the guy in the fucking playoffs. Like just don't do it.
Like don't go big brain here. Plus money on the Chiefs, take it. Plus 4.5 is even safer. I love that play by Huff. I'm probably the value though is nuts. I mean,
I was gonna do the same thing where I do the spread and the money line. Obviously, if they cover but don't win, you just kind of push everything. But I still might do that.
Mackey's point, he said it on the podcast. I'll reiterate it here for him. He thinks that Vegas is going to clean up today. He thinks that people are going to be all over the Ravens with the points, or they're going to be on the Chiefs money line. He thinks the best play is the Chiefs with the plus 4.5. He does think that Ravens team is good. I think he came around. He thinks they might be able to move on.
He also faded them all year, though. So.
Yeah, he also said, I can't bet against Mahomes in the playoffs because how do you, right? Like, it's such a tough thing to do. He didn't actually come in with a side. He's been 0-4 in the playoffs, but take that into consideration. It's safer to go with that plus 4.5 because if it comes down to it at the end, it's much nicer to have that points as a cushion.
Yeah, it's 4, dude. When it started going up and like the line movement isn't in the direction that tells you like you got to slam the Chiefs now because it's obviously you're getting more points. That could just be because a lot of people are taking this Ravens team at home. You know, people are like, oh shit, Ray Lewis is fucking carrying the flag out. That's worth a half a point. Like, no, the place can be rocking, but it's Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. 4.5 points. I think it's too much. But
is Patrick Mahomes the anti-hero today? Huff?
Yeah. And like I don't think it's Lamar. I don't think Lamar loses the game. I think Mahomes wins it. Like, does that make sense?
So I think so too, but I think it's going to be a tough day sledding for both offenses. I see a lot of punts today.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Give us a score prediction before we get to this NFC bout.
I liked your 21-19. I'm probably going to go closer to. I'll say Chiefs win 20-16.
Wow, you think they're able to cover that 4? They get a late touchdown to win then?
Yeah.
I think Rashee Rice also has a big game against that Ravens secondary.
It'll be 16-13 with like a couple minutes, like 2 minutes left, another 2-minute warning. Chiefs will get a touchdown, make it 20-16. Ravens will need a touchdown with like a minute left and not get it.
Last little quick rundown on this game before we get over to the NFC side. I think Lamar leads the game in rushing yards. I think Pacheco leads the game in rushing attempts. I think Rashee Rice leads the game in receiving yards. And I think both tight ends see some action for the Baltimore Ravens. Chiefs money line here though. Let's go. I know you people don't like to hear it, but it's the truth.
Yeah, I was looking at that Pacheco rushing attempts. It's at 13.5 now. I was looking at that too.
Love that.
But I did lock in that Bucker over 1.5 field goals, so I'm definitely going with that. I got that at -105, so I'm pretty stoked about that. I thought it'd be -120.
3:00 start.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then we got there's some afternoon sports, but I love these 3:00 and 6:30 games. I said it last week when they did it, but we'll get into this NFC Championship where we have the Detroit Lions heading to Santa Clara to take on the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are a 7.5-point favorite, -360 on the money line, +290 for the Lions to win the game. Over under at 51.5. Ace, I'll let you start on this one, then you can kind of hand things back off over me because I started rambling on that last game.
Yeah, for sure. I you know where I'm going to stand. I was on those Niners in August. I have the tickets to show the proof. Been beating that drum all year long. And my whole tune was, you might want to take the Niners with the spread because odds are they cover it. A lot of the time, I think it's hitting at over a 70% clip. They cover those big numbers. I'm not going to take it here. I do think the Lions are able to cover the touchdown spread. They're getting 7 points. I think the Lions cover and the Niners win. I think McCaffrey finds 2 touchdowns today. In our parlay piece, I took him for one because it's safe. But I think he gets in the end zone twice. I think George Kittle has an impact on the game. Brock Purdy's not going to turn the ball over more than once, although I do think both quarterbacks throw an interception here. I do have my mortal lock. I'll get to that later. It is in this game. Pretty surprising one if you ask me. But did we see if Debo's able to suit up for this one? I believe he is, right?
Yeah, he's playing. He's a go.
I wonder how much of an impact he'll be able to make, but I think Brandon Ayuk is having a strong day nonetheless. Christian McCaffrey is going to be doing his thing, and that defense. I like this Lions offense. That's what everybody's been on all year. But that Niners defense is star-studded. Dre Greenlaw was the star of the show last time they played. Nick Bosa could steal the show. Chase Young, and then of course Fred Warner, and then there's a lot of other good pieces on that defense as well. Shanahan will have that offense buzzing. They'll figure it out. It's a weak Lions defense. I don't know how you can take a team with that weak of a defense in the postseason. Defense wins championships, as Ray Lewis said on the cover of Madden 2005, and I believe that narrative. Best defense in the league, best team in the league. I don't see them getting beat at home by an inferior opponent, especially since they've been here so many times, unless you believe in the NFC Championship curse. I'll get into some more of the props after Huff gives us his take on this game.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. I am going to take the 7 points to the Lions. I think they're able to keep it close. I don't love their chances to win this game. The odd chance that they do at a plus 290 money line or whatever it's listed at. I mean, the Cinderella story will just continue. I've absolutely loved this team throughout the playoffs. I took them last week big against the Bucs. That was a nice hit for me. My only play last week. I'm going to double down on this Lions team, take them on the spread this week in Santa Clara. Like I said, the 7 points plus the 100 or plus 100 odds. I like the chances. I think Jared Goff's able to do enough to keep this close. I think there's going to be certain possessions where the 49ers are kicking field goals, and then Dan Campbell's going to have a 4th and 3 from the 40-yard line where you can, or from a 30-yard line where you can kick it to, make it a tie game or make it a 3-point game. And those are going to be the calls where it got them to the NFC Championship. You go for it there and get it, and you get a touchdown. I think the Lions will lead at some point of this game. Am I crazy in saying that?
If so, it'd be early. I think I could see a slow start from the Niners again, but I really don't think so. I think they were clicking. That last drive against the Packers might spur them. And let's not forget, they had that, 2-3 weeks off with their starters with that clinched 1 seed. So I don't know if there's as much rust, but if so, it's got to be early in my opinion. I don't think they're late. I think it's going to be a 10-point Niners lead throughout, and then the Lions over a backdoor cover.
Like a touchdown late. Yeah.
Yeah, or a field goal even, and make it interesting. Yeah. Don't you have the hook on the Lions too?
No, I just did the 7 because the hook now is minus 120.
Oh, I remember seeing it yesterday. That line keeps fluctuating. I think yesterday I was listening to a couple of talk shows and everybody's like, "You got the hook too. We're gonna take that." And I was like, "It's not a bad play at all."
Yeah.
But Huff, let's get into some of these props. I know you sent in the Laporta one for our parlay piece. I think that's a great play.
Yeah, so we can kind of just go through what we have on our parlay real quick, and then we can kind of dive into it. It is already posted out there on our social media, so make sure you're going to tune into that to get all your plays. We have for the 4-leg parlay for this week in the Ravens game, we have an alternate over of 38. And then in the night game with the next 3 legs, we have Laporta 4+ catches, Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, and the game Lions and Niners to go under 60 points. Another adjusted total. So 2 player props, 2 adjusted totals. That 4-leg parlay is coming in at plus 227. Cashed a plus 227 last week in the divisional round. Looking to go into the Super Bowl on a 2-0 little hot streak with the parlays. So that'd be definitely something to look forward to. I really like this one this week. But like you said, back into the props for this game. I like Laporta. I think his usage has obviously gone up the past couple, or ramped up with, how fucking good he is. He's watch
the
him.
best young tight end in the league. Dude, we were talking about this on the pod before we get into the props. Sorry to cut you off, Huff. But we have the 4 best tight ends are in the conference championship. We have Kelsey, we have Kittle, we have Andrews, and we have Laporta. I think those are the 4 best tight ends.
And honestly, Kittle is I want to say, dude, Laporta, just the way they use him, it's like when he gets going in open space, like Kittle's kind of that same way where it's like, I don't know how you tackle that when that's running, when he's running at full speed. Yeah, dude, when he's running at full speed, I don't know how you go approach that to tackle that, because most of the time when he's running that fast, the only person that can tackle him is a safety or a cornerback, and you just got to take out their legs. That's your only hope.
Yep, they learned from the Rob Gronkowski narrative.
Yeah, I like the 4.5 catches, but obviously for the parlay, dropped it to the 4+. So I like his yards. I don't think he'll get as many yards. I think you're better off going with a receptions prop
Targets.
at the 4.5 than a. I think he said it like 48 or 50.5 yards. Like there's a weird number. I think he was 40 last week. Cleared that over. I don't know. This Niners defense, like you said, they're definitely legit. I could see them kind of key in on guys like him, Amon-Ra St. Brown, make them run the ball, try to, you know what I mean? Niners are going to say, okay, if you want to run the ball, all you're doing is slowing down the game on yourself. Lions like to play that fast pace, get the run game involved, bring in their play action. That's where Jared Goff kind of hits Laporta and Amon-Ra St. Brown down the field for those big splash plays. But a guy that I look at to have a big game here where they're going to be keying on guys like that is Josh Reynolds, a receiver that Jared Goff has loved all season. When Laporta's covered, when Amon-Ra's covered, they get down to the goal line. Just when you think, like, if you have a Gibbs touchdown, which I normally do, or Laporta, you're like, oh, this is perfect territory for my guy. Next thing you know, you just see number 8, corner of the end zone, bang, touchdown. Like, I don't know how many he had this year, but he's Mr. Consistent, I feel like, for a third option for Goff.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I think that those top dogs, Amon-Ra and Laporta, are gonna get locked up. They're target hogs though, so I still like them on their over receptions. Yards and touchdowns are gonna be tougher to come by, especially with the top end talent they have. It's gonna be the secondary players like Reynolds, Jameson Williams, guys that are gonna have to step up in that receiving core. And they've been doing it all year long. They look great last week. I think Reynolds had a touchdown. I think Montgomery's gonna be stifled with that tough run defense as he likes to pound the rock up the middle. Gibbs, though, he's gonna have success once again, like they did last week, because he's gonna have to run the ball on the outside, similar to that Bucs defense. I know Bosa and Young are a little bit more lateral, especially Greenlaw and Warner as well, but they're going to have to get Gibbs in open space because his dynamic running style is what's going to break some big plays for them. If he's able to get into that secondary, I like Gibbs to get in less than Montgomery, but if they get onto the 1 yard line, 2 yard line, Demont's going to pound that rock in. I think Gibbs has a stronger day. I think Laporta sees good targets, the secondary receivers. And then I think on the other side of the ball, definitely McCaffrey day. I think he goes over on his rushing yards. I think he gets in the end zone twice. You can get that at plus money. Kittle is going to get his catches, his yards. And then I like Ayuk as well. Over, yep, great play by Chance Galucci right there. I was just about to hit on that. He's at over 4.5 receptions on this game. That's one of my favorite plays. That was almost my mortal lock of the week. But my mortal lock's a little different. We'll get to that shortly. But I like Ayuk to have at least 6 catches today. He's in that echelon with Amon-Ra, Chris Olave. I think he's that second tier of elite receivers in the league, and he's going to showcase it today against a weak defense. I think that the Niners are able to put up 4 touchdowns today. I wouldn't be surprised if they blow them out, but it is a playoff game, and you're getting a lot of points. That's the reason I said not a bad play with the Lions plus 7. I think they're going to put up too many for the Lions to cover against the best defense in the league.
Yeah, I agree. And here's one that I was looking at. So you said I was waiting. I was looking at it before you said. Then you said you think the Niners could score 4 touchdowns today. You think McCaffrey could get 2. Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdowns. What would you go?
I'd go yes.
Over.
Yep.
Minus 190, dude. I feel like it shouldn't be that steep.
Well, he's going to throw one to George Kittle probably, and then the receivers. They expect a high scoring game here. I mean, the over under sitting at 51.5.
Yeah, true.
So they think there's points, and with the way that the Lions score, and the way the Lions score so quick, like you said, they don't really run clock, and their defense is weak, so you expect a lot of points. But it's a playoff game, so it's tough to go with that. I like that alternate under 60 there. I looked at the original under 51.5, but I think it's going to be a tighter game than people expect. But wouldn't be surprised if the Niners pull away with just so much talent, just the most talented roster. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a use check touchdown today. That would be a crazy one. Probably some crazy odds on that.
Yeah.
One thing, if you could check real quick for me, if you got the odds up, what would it be for an all tight end touchdown on the day? You get a Kelsey, a Kittle, an Andrews, and a Laporta.
Kelsey, let me do this real quick. Kelsey, Andrews, not likely. You said Andrews?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Andrews.
Yeah, I would too. Plus 240 now for his anytime.
That's nuts. This is going to be a crazy odd.
Let me move to this night game. Let me move to this night game real quick. Laporta and Kittle. It would be plus 30. It's 35-1.
Oh my God! I might throw like a quarter on that. Those are the best tight ends in the league, and they get the targets in the red zone.
Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle, Laporta plus 3,502.
That's my dart throw of the week for you.
There you go. I definitely like that. I could see that. But like a list of names like that, Kelsey and Andrews. If you get through Kelsey and Andrews, I like your chances a lot.
Yeah, because the night game, I think is even better. Maybe you split the two and you do the two tight ends in both games,
Yeah,
especially in this night game. We're expecting a lot more points. Let's
yeah.
get a score prediction for this one, Huff. I think there's going to be more points in this one. I did say the Lions are going to cover, so I'm going to go with. For me, I'm going to say 34-27, or 34-30, 34-27. We'll say we'll go with the Niners.
I think it'll
Backdoor
be.
covered by the Lions, though.
I think it'll be. Let's see, 27-23. Lions lose.
27-23. Yeah, that'd be a
They'll
good
be.
game as well.
They'll be down 4, need a touchdown, not get it.
And won't get it.
Something like, yeah.
Missed extra point's going to come back to bite him or
Yeah.
something like
Or
that.
Dan Campbell will call some stupid play call, and everyone will be like, "There's the play we were waiting for."
Be ready for it, though. If they're able to win this game, Dan Campbell is going to have a couple of fourth down conversions. I know some of you are big live bettors, and if you are, there's a great one that you can look for. Will there be a fourth down conversion on this drive? You usually get great odds on it. And if it's the Lions of the ball, I wouldn't be surprised if you smacked yes and it hit.
Yeah, true. It could be 4th and 5, and they could hand it to take a note out of the Bills playbook, hand it to DeMar Hamlin. Except the Lions will actually get that.
Yeah, I like the score prediction here, 31-27, pretty similar to mine there, Chancelloochie, and that helps us with our alternate prop of under 60, and you get a lot of points there. I think the CMC anytime touchdown, a Beacon, I've been on that almost every game this year. That might be my play as well. CMC anytime touchdown, Niners on the money line. You parlay those two, and you get a little under minus 200. That's not a bad thing to look at. But this will
Yeah,
be
I like the Justice Hill over catches. That's all. Anytime I see I feel like
and
every
his
playoff game they
props
use
are
him a
so
lot
low,
more.
and his props are low. His props are
Yeah,
low. It's probably sitting at 2.5, 3.5. He doesn't need to see that
that's
many, and especially against the Chiefs defense that likes to play fast. Do you think there's any chance we see a little bit more Jerick McKinnon usage in this game?
the Chiefs are the same thing as like everyone's expecting Pacheco. Do you think like could you see Clyde Edwards-Helaire get some touches? Could you see McKinnon get some screen looks out of the backfield? Like it's and the Ravens are the same way. They have running backs. I mean, it's Keaton Mitchell's done for the year, right?
Yeah, it's Dalvin Cook, Gus Edwards, and
That's who they
Justin
brought in, Dalvin Cook. I was like, okay, so they still have 3 running backs. I couldn't think what the third was. So, I mean, Gus, Dalvin Cook, and Justice Hill. That's definitely. And then on the other side, you got Pacheco, Edwards-Helaire, and McKinnon. I think you'll
They'll
definitely
spread the
see some
wealth,
touches. Yeah, you're going to see some touches by these other running backs that aren't the starters. There's a
especially
reason
since
Pacheco's only set at 13 attempts. You know what I mean?
I think it's because the offenses are going to get stymied in that game, so they're going to have to spread the ball to see if anybody can generate anything.
Yeah,
It's going to be
like
tough to move
committee,
the ball.
who's moving the ball today, like.
And at the bank, it's tough. It's gonna be cold, probably a little wet, and that stadium's gonna be rocking. I think there's gonna be a lot of third down chances. Mahomes gonna do it with his legs. Look at that Mahomes rushing prop. I think he might be able to get some yardage today. It's gonna be a great,
He's at like a weirdly high number. It was like
probably
29.
like
Is that
28 and a
high?
half. 28 and a half, I'd guess.
I felt like it's normally like low 20s, and now I was like,
It's
he
been
needs to
getting
get
higher.
30 yards. I don't like
No,
that
this year it's been climbing because of the he's been needing to do it more since he can't
because
pick
he's
it up
but
on the
yeah
run.
yeah. I was gonna say you can't if he's like if you're not gonna catch the ball, I guess I'll just fucking run.
And he actually is a great runner too. He's one of the more elite
He's a
running
smart
backs.
runner. He's
Yeah.
not like he doesn't look that great whenever
It's
he's
not a
running. Like
design run.
yeah, exactly yeah.
And
But
he's
he
always
knows
sending that ball out and picking up the
yeah.
first down.
Yep. I was gonna say that, and like knows when to go out of bounds. There's a reason he knows he's a $500 million quarterback. We don't want you taking those hits. Go the fuck out of bounds.
Yeah, those are some
Yeah,
great
like
plays.
extend the ball out of bounds. Like let's just get out of here and get the first down. But I definitely could see that. I thought his total set right around 28, 29, like we said. I just think the other one I was looking at was rushing attempts. It was 4.5 rushing attempts. I'm like, yeah, I definitely think he'll scramble 5 times. Like,
I love that actually.
yeah, I saw that on FanDuel when we were recording. I remember. I don't know if that's still what it's set at. I can try to pull that up here real quick, but I think it was 4.5. The over was like heavily favorited, but let me see what I can find here. Do you have any other props that you were like?
No, those are all the props I love. Throw that in an SGP. I think that's a good one to hit. Other than
Mahomes over 4.5 rushing attempts minus 128 on FanDuel.
that's not a bad play. Throw that into a same game parlay and you're looking good. I think these are some great props. We've given you 2 great games. I'm expecting a Niners Chiefs rematch. A Niners Ravens rematch wouldn't surprise me either. That AFC side, I really think either team can win this game. On the NFC side, I'm really all in, chips all in on the Niners. I don't think there's any chance they lose this one, but it's the NFL. I've seen crazier things happen. I think Huff, let's get into our mortal locks. Mine's going to be a crazy one. We didn't even talk about it yet because I want to save it for the session. You mind if I go first with it?
Yeah, go ahead. Get it right out
Yeah.
of the way.
Mine is Jared Goff to throw an interception. Normally very safe with the ball, but I think on the road, trying to do too much, playing from behind with that elite defense. I have it at minus 125, minus 130 in that range. I'm going with Jared Goff to throw a pick in this one.
I definitely like that. When you sent that, I was like, all right, a tough defense out there on the road in the playoffs. I definitely could see, one ball, get a tip ball, anything like we saw Greenlaw
A
get
late
last week.
pick
And
trying to make
yeah,
a
I was gonna
comeback.
say a late pick when you need the touchdown. That's always the great way to cash the interception prop. Mine is I did already mention mine. I'm going with the Chiefs plus the 4.5 as a mortal lock. Patrick Mahomes is a 4.5 point underdog in the playoffs. You don't see it very often. You saw him +3 last week in Buffalo. What did he do? He went in there and won that game outright.
Mhm.
Even if the Bills tied that game with a field goal, Mahomes had a minute 46 left. We'd still be having the same AFC championship with Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson. I think today's going to be a great game. Getting the Chiefs plus 4.5 points is stealing money.
Agreed. It's going to be two great games today. I'm excited for it. We'll have our cards posted, and you'll get to see our official plays for the week. But two great games coming up. I'm hyped.
Yeah,
We're here.
definitely a great game, great day of
Last
football.
multi-game slate of the weekend. Enjoy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then obviously next weekend, fucking Pro Bowl, and then Super Bowl in 2 weeks. But that's about it. Like you said, we'll get the plays out soon. My card and the parlay is already posted. Obviously, we announced the parlay, went through that here as well. Plus 227 on the parlay, the over 38 in the Ravens Chiefs game, Laporta 4+ catches, CMC touchdown, and alternate under of 60 in the 49ers Lions game. I'm going with the Chiefs and the Lions today. Ace, you'll get your card done. Jesse, Ace, and Mackey's cards will be posted. Let's say by 11:30 noon. Obviously, with the first game starting at 3. So, thanks for listening. Thanks for participating in the chat. We love hearing your guys' plays each week. Make sure you're tuning into the podcast this week. Obviously, like I said, no football next weekend. Going to recap these games, some other things we can talk about in the world of basketball, hockey, all the other sports that we love to cover. So, we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening, and that's really it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it.
Make that cash. Let's go, boys. Big day.